applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Diffused, mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked the mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running, toes they gon' take them. Used to lose, built to win, applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Good evening. Welcome to Dave's Doghouse, episode 13. Got some really good things to talk about today, but I got a big announcement to make, and I'm going to make it right before I get into my segments. But make sure that wherever you're watching me live, I am live right now on Facebook, YouTube, and X. So make sure if you're on Facebook, you like it, you share it. If you are on YouTube, you like, share, subscribe. If you're on X, just like it, repost it. That way more people can see it. Like I said, I got a big announcement to make. That's going to happen 2 weeks from now. So make sure you are getting as many people possible to watch this. You don't want to miss this announcement, especially for everyone that's in the R2L family. So you definitely want to tune into this because it's going to be like a poll that I'm going to do. So make sure you pay attention. I'm excited. I hope everyone's having a really good day. I see people in the comments already. Shout out to Kevo, Joe, in the red corner. Definitely excited about that. Catway is the doghouse. No. Catway is not a doghouse. We're not doing a celebrity one, although I could do that. So you never know. It may open up to that soon, but not at the moment. Puppy doghouse. That's funny. But yeah, man, I'm excited about tonight's episode. It's Wednesday, the 10th of January. My niece's birthday was about 4 days ago, so happy birthday, Leilani. It's my oldest niece, so definitely proud to be your uncle. I'm excited about a lot of things. I'm excited to talk about who's in the doghouse. I think it's going to be very detailed. I wrote down a lot of stuff, a lot of notes to make sure I got myself prepared. I extended my time. I originally was going to open up at 8, but I changed it to 9:30. So thankful for everybody that's tuned in. So now let me go ahead and get into before I get into my announcement, I can't start without turning up on Dave's Doghouse.
Turn me up. All
right, now for the big announcement. So I've already made this announcement to Joe and Tomo, the guys on the R2L show, my dummy bro Tomo and Joe, the guy who started it all. This is Dave's Doghouse on the R2L network. So it's only right that 2 weeks from now, the Doghouse is going to be an R2L special. So what that means is I'm going to have 4 segments. And it's going to be 2 different dog houses, 2 different dogs of the year. So this is going to go from all last year up until now. So I'm going to do the dog houses of the year for all sports and all dogs of the year for sports. Then I'm going to do an R2L version of that to where everyone in the R2L family and all of the chats who belong in the doghouse and all of the R2L guys and girl who belong as dogs for the year. So I'm going to put up a poll to see exactly who everyone chooses to be, and you can't vote for yourself, of course. You can't vote for yourself to be in the doghouse or dog, but you got to vote for somebody else. And all the prospective chats. Some people are only in the NFL chat. Some people only in the NBA chat. But I want to give everyone an opportunity to be featured on my show. So 2 weeks from today, in the doghouse, I'm going to have people in the doghouse and people that are dogs for the year. So that is my special announcement. I definitely hope that you're able to tune in because I feel like it's going to be a very, very interesting show. So make sure that you tune in. All right. So now that we got that out the way, we got to go ahead and talk about the doghouse. Why you leaving? Why you rolling out, Kev? Don't go nowhere, man. Don't go nowhere, man. You know, you got to make sure you pay attention. You might like the doghouse this week. I'm not. I ain't look. Eagles not in the doghouse right now, or or well, they are, but they're not coming out. But I don't. The Mavericks not in there, so I mean, pay attention, man. You might like this one. You might like this one. Yeah, that's right. Roof, roof. That's right. That's right. I'm like I said, I'm excited. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the first part. So we got to talk about who's staying in or getting out. It's a lot of candidates. It's a pretty hefty doghouse right now. But this may come to a surprise to some people of one of the people that'll be out of the doghouse. Oh, don't worry about that, Cash. I mean, if you want it, then you want it. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. You might be surprised where you end up, though. So you never know. So as you see, who's in the doghouse? We got Draymond Green, we got Brandon Staley, Sam Howell, WBC. We got the Eagles. They've lost 5 of the last 6 games, so I think they're going to stay in there until they change something. The Duke Blue Devils. We got Sean Payton. We got Jared Miller, Jermell Charlo, Deontay Wilder, Regis Prograis. We got some really well-known people in the doghouse. But let's see who's actually going to be out of the doghouse this week. So this team that's first out of the doghouse is none other than the Duke Blue Devils. So Duke, they were originally put in for being a top 5 team in the country, and then falling all the way down to 22nd in the country, almost being unranked after losing a game to Georgia Tech, which happened to be the last game that they've lost. They are currently on a 6-game win streak, and that last loss was on December 2nd, 72-68 to Georgia Tech. Then they went on to upset Baylor. They beat Syracuse, Notre Dame, and Pitt by combined 40 points. They went from number 22 back to number 11 in the country. They are right now 3-1 in conference play. They are 4th in the ACC. So Duke has done everything they needed to do to be out of the doghouse. So Duke Blue Devils, great job in exiting the doghouse. Because when y'all played terribly,
it became personal with me.
I took that personally because I felt like,
Oh, brother, this guy stinks.
you was stinking up the place, man. You can't be doing that when you're one of my favorite teams. You can't be stinking up the place. It doesn't smell good. Come on, man. You got to do better than that. So I'm actually glad that you guys are doing well. Like I said, you're on a 7-game win streak. You are now number 11 in the country. Let's continue to win games, continue to improve, and let's see how much better you guys can get. Now, this next person that's out of the doghouse, and this may be the quickest person to be in and out of the doghouse. Upon further review from having some conversations with some people in the NFL chat and hearing some other things and actually doing a little bit more research. I will admit that I made a mistake by putting the wrong person in the doghouse. So Sean Payton, you are no longer in the doghouse. You know, you were doing your job as a head coach. I gave you a little bit too much flack. Too much flack because I gave you too much blame for that. Although I still think that you should have, maybe you could have done something to keep Russell Wilson in there and maybe have an opportunity to play in the playoffs. But hey, I mean, it's only so much you can do when Russell Wilson wasn't the quarterback of your choice. You pretty much were brought there to try to fix him, and I guess there's no fixing him. He has played better this year than he did last year, but things happen, things change. Sean Payton, you're no longer in the doghouse. All right. Now we got to talk about the people that are going in the doghouse. This one, I believe, is going to be very interesting. So again, if you are watching right now, like this video, share this to somebody. If somebody watches the NBA or the NFL or baseball, make sure they tune in right now because I'm about to start announcing all of the new people that belong in the doghouse. So, very first contestant. Brand new member to the doghouse. This team resides in Los Angeles. They have a total of 13 retired jerseys, 17 NBA championships. They've made the playoffs 63 times, 32 finals appearances, 31 early exits in the playoffs, and they have countless Hall of Famers. You got to think about Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. They have plenty of great players that have played for this team. Last season, they were the 7th seed in the NBA. I'm talking about none other than one of the most watched, most praised franchises in all of basketball. The Los Angeles Lakers. You may be thinking, hey, Dave, they just won their last 2 games. Yes, they won their last 2 games. I get that. But this team is only 19-19. They just reached 500. They went 7-0 in the in-season tournament. They wanted that in-season tournament championship so bad that they hung the banner for the in-season tournament. Now, this is the first year this has ever happened. This is the first year they've ever bought up the in-season tournament. And there were talks that they weren't even going to hang a banner. You remember what Kobe Bryant said? We don't hang division titles. We don't hang conference championship. We hang NBA championship banners. And you go and hang an in-season tournament banner? That's not an NBA finals. This doesn't count towards the NBA finals. It doesn't count towards greatness. It's a really good thing, and you help some young players get some money they probably would have never gotten. And that's a great thing. It's a good thing. Maybe you could have put this in the locker room, but you actually went and hung this up in the arena. And since then, the Lakers have gone 13 of 21 in games outside of the in-season tournament. Although AD has played majority of these games, he hasn't missed a lot of games. He's played great as well. Last season, they beat the Memphis Grizzlies 4-2 in the first round. Then they beat the Warriors 4-2 in the conference semis, and then they lost the conference finals and got swept. And yeah, you're right. It's the very first one. It's one thing. It's something that you want to celebrate. But this is the Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers are known for winning NBA championships. That's what it all matters. That's what it all boils down to. That's that is the most important thing in basketball. It's an NBA championship, not an in-season tournament. Now it's a really good thing because you were the first one to win it. But that's not what you guys are known for. You're known for winning NBA championships. The last one you won was in 2020. A lot of people call it the bubble championship, the Mickey Mouse championship. Hey, it was tough. You're not going to hear nothing bad from me about that championship. You deserve it. But come on. You hang it in your locker room, not in the arena, and play better. For me, this is not even about hanging the in-season tournament championship. This is just about what you've done since then. You have not played up to par, and you can say it's because of injuries, but those injuries were there during the in-season tournament. Gabe Vincent wasn't there during the in-season tournament, and you still won 7 straight games and won the whole thing. So now are you going to use that as an excuse when LeBron James and AD have been out there? That's all I'm saying. You lost to a Miami Heat team whose best player wasn't out on the floor. They still had Bam Adebayo, and they still had Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson and Jaime Jaquez Jr. But you have LeBron, you got AD, you got Austin Reeves, you got Christian Wood, you got players on your side as well. But you lose this game. You got swept by Miami, by the way. So that's what happens. So, first new member to the doghouse is the Los Angeles Lakers. My guy, you in the doghouse. And our next contestant to be welcomed to the doghouse joined the NBA in 1968. Then won the championship in 1971 after you joined the NBA in 1968, which is just 3 years later, beating the Baltimore Bullets. You have conference titles in the 1971, 1974, and 2021. This team has won 16 divisional titles. I'm going to name some players that were drafted to this franchise. You may know some of these names, and some of these names you may actually be surprised by. So, some players that this team has drafted is Eric Snow, Dirk Nowitzki, Michael Redd, Rafer Alston, who as we call Skip the Malou, Stephon Marbury, Glenn Robinson, Rashawn Leonard, Scott Styles, and then the two that we all know, Giannis Antetokounmpo and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Yes, I am talking about the Milwaukee Bucks. I bet you a lot of people were surprised that I named Dirk Nowitzki as someone that was drafted. Yes, he was drafted, but he was then traded to the Dallas Mavericks. He was originally drafted by the Milwaukee Bucks, although he never played a game for them. So the Bucks, who did an off-season trade, trading away Drew Holiday to the Boston Celtics so they can go and get Damian Lillard. Now, after acquiring Damian Lillard, they've gotten off to a slow start. The Milwaukee Bucks have lost 4 of their last 5 games. The last game, losing by 16 to the Utah Jazz, where they were down 31 points at halftime. Last time I checked, the Milwaukee Bucks were co-favorites as the NBA champions when they acquired Damian Lillard. Now I get it. They still have a lot of chemistry to get. They still have a lot of things to get better at. But you've lost 4 games this year to the Indiana Pacers. 4. Last time you played them, you lost by 12. You lost to the Rockets on the 6th, only by 4 points. What's going on in Milwaukee, guys? I mean, you got the Green Bay Packers in the playoffs now, number 7 seed. You won a championship in 2021. You move on from Coach Bud and you go and get someone else. I still feel like you're going to be a really good team in the NBA and make some noise in the playoffs. But right now, it just seems like things just aren't coming together well. And we always say, the season doesn't start until after Christmas. Well, it's after Christmas now. It is now the 10th. That's more than Christmas was a little over 2 weeks ago. The real season has started now. And Milwaukee Bucks, I'm actually expecting you to play a lot better than what you've played so far. I wouldn't have expected you guys to lose 4 or 5 games. I expect you to win more, and I believe that's going to happen. But, tomorrow night, you got to go against the Boston Celtics. You're going to be at home, so you got that advantage. Boston wins at home. They haven't lost a game at home yet. They are in overtime right now to the Minnesota Timberwolves. So who knows if that ends or not. But Milwaukee, you really have to play a little bit better than what you've been playing so far. So as the Lakers got the call, you get the same call. The Milwaukee Bucks, you are now in the doghouse. My guy, you in the doghouse. All right. Very next team. It's in Florida. Lost 5 of the last 6 games. They were 8-3 after week 13. They've lost games to the Bengals. Well, in those 6 games, in the 5 of those games that they lost to the Bengals, the Browns, the Ravens, the Bucks, and the Titans. This was an expansion team in 1995, which is just 28 years ago, right alongside the Carolina Panthers. This team added Fred Taylor in 1998 and won their first division title in that same year. Then the very next year, they went 14-2, which was the best record in the NFL. And then they lost in the AFC Championship game to the Tennessee Titans. Their first draft pick was All-Pro Tony Baselli. And this team at one point was called Saxonville. I think you all know who I'm talking about. So I'm just going to go ahead and bring them up. The Jacksonville Jaguars. What happened, Jacksonville? I think a lot of people expected you guys to play a lot better and be in the playoffs. However, one of these teams that are dogs actually won the division with a rookie head coach, a rookie offensive coordinator, a rookie quarterback, a rookie wide receiver in Tank Dell. They got Nico Collins on the team as well, and a rookie defensive player in Will Anderson. You went and got Calvin Ridley. You had Christian Kirk, and I know you've had injuries throughout the season. But there are other teams that have injuries throughout the season. Yeah, the Eagles have had injuries, and they still finished 11-6. You have the Cowboys who have had injuries, and they finished 12-5, won the division. 49ers have had injuries. The Ravens have had injuries. The Steelers have had countless injuries. TJ Watt is not even going to play in the first game. So I am expecting you guys to play a little bit better and to do whatever you can to at least win the division. I mean, it didn't seem like it should have been that hard to you, but it seems like you go up against a good team and you just don't play well. The only team that you beat in those 6 games is the team with the worst record in the NFL, and that's the Carolina Panthers. You beat them 26-0. You beat them handily. But you go up against, like I said, you go up against the Bengals and lose that game. The Browns, okay, I get why you could lose that game because the Browns defense is really good. I mean, I can understand you losing to the Ravens. The Ravens right now is the best team in the NFL, so I get why you lose that game. But you should have been able to handle business. Not saying that the Bucks aren't good, but the Bucks and the Titans, the Titans team that you beat earlier this season, who's also been banged up, you got to be able to handle that. These are games that you got to win. You got a really good tight end in Evan Ingram. You got Travis Etienne. You got Trevor Lawrence. Got to find a way to win these games, Jacksonville. You were considered Saxonville for a very long time, and I don't think anyone has called you that since then. I know I picked you to win this division, and this is not me being personally upset because, my Niners beat you guys 34-3 in Jacksonville, so I could care less. But as a football fan, I would expect you guys to win the division. I thought you would win that game against the Titans and clinch. But you didn't. So now you're sitting at home with all the other teams. When you looked like you were going to make it at 8-3 after week 13, and then you finish the game, they finish the season 9-8. So you get the call. Jacksonville, you are in the doghouse. My guy, you in the doghouse. All right. Now, this may be someone's favorite doghouse candidate. It's not mine, but somebody's. This team in Boston started in 1901. One of their most famous players is now a Pitcher's Award, Cy Young. He was the ace for this team. Current owners are John Henry, Tom Werner, and Larry Luciano. First ever owner was Charles Summers. I'm going to name some players from this team. This team has won 9 World Series titles. The last World Series title was in 2018. The last playoff appearance was in 2021. Players that have played for this franchise. You got Jason Bay, Adrian Beltre, Xander Bogaerts, Mookie Betts, David Ortiz, Wade Boggs, Roger Clemens, Manny Ramirez, Dustin Pedroia, Curt Schilling. Just got to bring them up. Boston Red Sox. Teddy said this earlier today. If there was an award for the most talked to, the Red Sox would win it. The Red Sox seem to have talked to everybody but haven't gotten anyone. They lost out on Ohtani. I don't think they were ever in the race, honestly. Lost out on Yamamoto. They've had trade discussions with Dylan Cease, Corbin Burns, Jesus Luzardo. They tried to sign Teo Hernandez. They lost out on him. And Shota Imanaga, who has just signed a contract with the Chicago Cubs. All you have right now is Rafael Devers. Chris Sale is now gone. Alex Verdugo is now a Yankee. What are we doing, Red Sox? We decided to let the GM go and get someone else, thinking that they were going to spend money. And we haven't spent much of anything this season. Where is this team headed? Are you really focusing on winning, or are you still just trying to save money? You let the other guy go because he wasn't spending any money, but now the guy you got in now ain't spending money either. So what's the real reason for all of this to continue to go on? What are you guys going to do to change this? What direction is the Red Sox going in? Are we really going to go after pitchers to help this rotation to get back into the playoffs? Like I said before, the Red Sox have not made the playoffs since 2021. The last 2 seasons, we've missed the playoffs. That's not good. Have to do better, Red Sox. If you want to compete, as you say you do, then you make moves to do that. Whatever it costs. It's not like you don't have the money. You have the money. And then you're lowballing these players at that. You really expect someone to come and play for Boston for little money when we haven't done anything since 2018? Are we being serious right now? So I'm not sure where you guys are headed. Not sure what you guys are doing. So just like everyone else who gets the call, you get the call as well. And to all 4 teams in the doghouse, you have an opportunity to get out. Jaguars, you have until next season. So you have a place to stay until next season. But the other 3, Lakers, you just got to make some moves and start winning some more games. You've won 2 in a row, so you're starting to improve, but do more. Bucks, you've lost 4 or 5. What are you going to do to get out of that funk? And Boston Red Sox, what are you going to do to improve this team and compete in the AL East? So Boston Red Sox, my guy, you in the doghouse. Just letting you know what's going on with you because you haven't done anything right in a little while. So as we do that, what I'm going to do now is have a commercial break and I'll be back.
Yo, my name is Lambo Anlo.
This is Dimitri.
This is Ed Hahn.
My name is Daryl Julian, and this is
Refuse to lose sports.
Refuse to lose sports.
Refuse to Lose Sports.
Refuse to lose sports.
Mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it. They told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie. I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me, keep on running toes. They gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win. Apply myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out. I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost. I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Apply myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out. I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost. I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse.
And I'm back. So now that we got that out of the way, we got to talk about the dogs of the week. Dogs of the week. And if you were not tuning in into the beginning of the show, I'm going to make the announcement again at the end. So tune in until the end of the show. But let's go ahead and go on and let's talk about these guys that have been balling out and deserve to be put as dogs. First up, this guy plays for the Houston Rockets. One of the best players, one of the best young players in the NBA right now that has been kind of sort of talked about, but not that much. And apologies if I do not say your name correctly, but Alperen Sengun of the Houston Rockets. He was just recently named the Western Conference Player of the Week. He is the center for the Houston Rockets. Over his last 7 games, these are the stats that he put up: 30 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists; 26 points, 4 rebounds, 9 assists; 28 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists; 24 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist; 30 points, 16 rebounds, 5 assists; 37 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists; 22 points, 15 rebounds, and 3 assists. Sengun has been one of the best centers in the league this year, and he's still young. He is the 4th center since 1996 to have 20 plus points on 100% field goal percentage in one quarter. He is the first player in Rockets history to have 20 plus points, 15 plus rebounds in less than 25 minutes. He's become the youngest player in Rockets franchise history to reach 2,000 points, 1,000 rebounds, and 500 assists in a career at 21 years old, 117 days, passing Rodney McRae, who was 24 years old and 58 days when he did that feat. Sengun has been one of the best young players in the NBA, and I feel like it's only right that he starts to get some love. I believe that I was one of the people that said that I believe that Sengun should be, the Rockets would be a scary team in the West. Now they may not seem like they are really scary, but I feel like with the young players that they have, they should be able to compete. And so far, they've been competing. Not to say that they will win an NBA championship, but I think they should be a really good team in the West, along with OKC, Minnesota, and they've been playing very well at home, just like Joe just said, playing really good at home. And it's exciting to watch this team play. And I'm actually glad to see that something that I predicted would happen is actually going on, and I'm excited to see this young team play. I believe Joe's cousin is a Houston Rockets fan, and I'm pretty sure he's happy with what he's seeing. I remember in the offseason a lot of speculation about James Harden going back to Houston, and with the new signing of Ime Udoka as the head coach, I feel like he has them in the right direction, and you wouldn't want to bring in James Harden to come in there and take the young guy spotlight. So that move didn't happen. James Harden went where he wanted to go with the Clippers, and they're starting to play very well. When they didn't play well in the first 5 games, I believe they were 0-5, but now they are one of the best teams in the West. And the Rockets are a really good team in the West as well. So Rockets continue to play well, and I love what you're doing. You are the first of 4 to be able to get the dog cry. So Houston, continue to play well. Proud of what you're doing. Let's keep it going. This next player was put in by a special request. So this person is already commenting, by the way. So I'm pretty sure he's going to be really excited when I start to name these things that, this player is actually doing right now. So in his very last game, he put up 37 points, 10 rebounds, 13 assists, 3 steals. He was 16 of 21 from the field. Since Christmas, he is averaging 24 points, 14 rebounds, and 8 assists. He leads the league in rebounds per game at 12.5. Right under him is Anthony Davis, Nikola Jokic, Rudy Gobert, and Joel Embiid. Before I name anything else that he's doing, I'm just going to go ahead and bring him up. As Joe would say, light the beam. Domantas Sabonis. You have actually played very, very well this season. a lot better than you did last year. Not saying that you played bad last year, but you are stepping up. Domantas Sabonis. So far in January in 2024, you are averaging 24.6 points per game, 15.4 rebounds per game, 9.2 assists. Compared to Nikola Jokic, who's only averaging 20 points per game, 7.8 rebounds per game, and he's averaging more assists at 10 assists a game. Over his last 4 games, 20.5 points per game, 19.5 rebounds per game, and 9.8 assists. Domantas Sabonis joined Wilt Chamberlain and Elgin Baylor as the only players to average 20, 19, and 9 over 4 games. He also leads the league in assists and most assists on 3-point shots with 394 assists on 3-point shots. That number may have gone up, but that's what I have right now in my notes. There are only 5 players this season, who are averaging a triple-double per 100 possessions. You want to know who those 5 players are? Nikola Jokic, LeBron James, Luka Doncic, Kelly Olynyk, and, of course, Domantas Sabonis. In the month of December, he averaged 20.3 points per game, 13.1 rebounds per game, and 8.2 assists. He notched 5 triple-doubles in December and got a double-double in all 14 games that he played in December. I think it's without a doubt that he deserves to be a dog. Yes, Joe. Yes, Kelly Olynyk. Kelly O. Yes, Kelly O. He's one of the 5 players averaging a triple-double per 100 possessions. It's crazy, but that's exactly what's happening. So, Sabonis, man. I mean, what more can I really say about you? Joe put out a challenge for you, and he wanted to make sure that you stepped up this year. But now he wants to see you do this in the playoffs. You stepped up in the regular season. Are you going to do this in the playoffs? That's the next challenge for you. Because we all really see what you can do in the regular season. We know what kind of player, what you're capable of. So let's see what you do when it counts the most. Domantas Sabonis, you've been playing lights out this season. You've been playing lights out so far this month. You may have an opportunity to be player of the month in the West. Yes, I know you love seeing the Red Sox in the doghouse, but too bad that you missed me actually, spill it. So you have to go back and watch it. But, Domantas Sabonis, welcome to the Dogs. And now we got another young basketball player to talk about. And it's deservingly so. Plays for the Oklahoma City Thunder. It ain't too much that I really got to get into to tell you guys who he is. He's the best player on this team. He has a 64.3 true shooting percentage right now. He is a part of one of the best defensive ratings among 4-man lineups this season. The 5 teams that are in that are the Clippers, the Rockets, the Celtics, who are number 1, and the Minnesota Timberwolves. The other team is the Oklahoma City Thunder. Since Christmas, you averaged the second most points with 34 points per game. I'm talking about none other than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, SGA. He is by far the best player on this team. When he played against the Boston Celtics the other night, He recorded 36 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists on 64% shooting. Prior to that week before, in 4 games, he scored 34. His stats were 34 points, 6 rebounds, 9 assists, 36 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists, 40 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 24 points, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists, while also averaging 1.5 steals per game and a block per game. Over his last 10 games, which included, was 36 points. I'm going to just tell you the points. It was 36 points, 34 points, 34 points, 31 points, 30 points, 25 points, 43 points, 30 points, 38 points, and 33 points. I think it's without a doubt that we know that he is one of the best players in the league. And right now, he is 4th on the MVP ladder. I think we can all agree that SGA belongs in the MVP conversation. He is the reason why this OKC team is one of the best players in the West, and why they should be considered dangerous, and they could possibly, depending on what the matchup is or wherever they land, they could end up in the conference finals in the West. So SGA, do whatever you need to do. You got Chet Holmgren on your team. You got some other young guys on this team to help you win. You got Lou Dort. You got Josh Giddey. Y'all can compete, man. I love what I'm seeing with this team, and I wanted to make sure you guys get some praise. You, for sure, are going to get some SGA. So, SGA, welcome to the Dogs. And last but not least, this one might be my favorite. And it's because there was some conversations that happened last year about why this decision was made to hire this certain head coach because of the history of this team. This team fired a head coach last year, an interim head coach, after he showed his team to compete, and they won a game which lost them out on getting the number 1 overall pick. That number 1 overall pick ended up being Bryce Young. So they ended up picking second. And they drafted CJ Stroud. Then right after that, they drafted Will Anderson. The head coach of this team was also drafted by this team. But he recently was the defensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Also, this is also why I won $100. Thank you, Kimbo. I appreciate you for that again. DeMeco Ryans. I don't think I need to pull up any stats when it comes to DeMeco Ryans. There's not much I really need to do when it comes to this. I said where he comes from. He was drafted by the Houston Texans. He played there. He knows this city. He's loved. He's loved here. That's the reason why they offered him that contract and gave him a multi-year deal to be able to be the head coach for the Houston Texans. And his very first season as a head coach with the rookie quarterback, a rookie receiver, along with Tank Dell, Dalton Schultz, Nico Collins, and then with the other teams the other players he has on this team that I can name on defense, like Jalen Pittyre, Denzel Perryman, Derek Barnett, Malik Collins, Steven Nelson, Jerry Hughes, Kareem Jackson, Derek Stingley Jr., and Will Anderson. This Houston Texas team in the first season with a rookie head coach, a rookie quarterback, a star rookie wide receiver, a rookie defensive player in Will Anderson, and a rookie offensive coordinator, won the division in his first season as a head coach, and they host a home game against the Cleveland Browns in the playoffs. I wish I had more people on the show with me so we could all give him a round of applause, because I am truly, truly impressed with what he has done as a head coach to be able to lead these men to get into the playoffs. So I'm absolutely enamored with what this team has done, with what you have done as a leader, DeMeco Ryans. I had no doubt that you would be a good coach for this team, because you truly believed in what you were doing, and I felt like you knew what you were going to do. And if you look at, you come from the Kyle Shanahan tree, the Kyle Shanahan coaching tree. All the coaches have been successful just about, except for one. And that's just because he can't get the quarterback right. And I think it's just because he's with the Jets. Maybe he can come back and be the DC if Steve Wilkes gets a head coaching job. Exactly, Tay. If they had tanked, I think it would have been no question that they would have won the division a couple weeks ago, maybe. And it would make them compete a lot more against the Browns, which is your team. I think that's going to be a really good game. Now, who's going to win? I won't make my pick yet, because Friday ain't here yet. Although I will not be on the show, I will make my pick. But man, this team, this head coach, man, DeMeco, it's almost like I know you personally. That's how proud I am of you. I think you've done an amazing job this year. I'm proud of what you're doing. I'm glad you made the decision to go and get CJ Stroud after he got all that criticism about that test, saying that, they didn't believe he could read defenses or read an offense or read a playbook because they felt like he wasn't smart enough because of that stupid test. And he goes out and he's more than likely going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year when all of these so-called experts think that he was going to be terrible. And he played lights out better than Bryce Young. So, yeah, man, I'm uber excited and very, very proud of everything you've done, Mr. DeMeco Ryans. And I am very proud to be able to say that you were one of the best defensive coaches for San Francisco, and you're one of the best young and up-and-coming coaches in this league. DeMeco Ryans, you a dog. And if you did not tune in to the show in the beginning when I made the bombshell announcement, here's when I made the announcement again. 2 weeks from today, on the Doghouse Show, which would be the last Wednesday of the month. Well, maybe not. But 2 weeks from now, I'm going to do a special R2L show on the Doghouse. If anyone wants to come on, let me know. You can help me announce it when the ballot comes in. I'm going to start this poll tomorrow. I'm going to start the poll tomorrow of who do you guys believe should be in the Doghouse of the Year for all sports, Dog of the Year for all sports, and it's going to be 4 candidates for each one. And then it's going to be an R2L version of that. So anyone that's in the chats that belongs in the Doghouse, you're going to be able to vote for that. And anyone for Dog of the Year. And it could be depending on predictions, the person that was the most entertaining. You can put them in there, and the person that's been more right than wrong belongs as a dog. And the person that's been more wrong than right belongs in the Doghouse. So that is my special announcement. That is my show for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. May you guys enjoy the rest of your night. Guys and gals, enjoy the rest of your night. And I hope you enjoyed the show. Peace. Thank you for watching all the way through and tuning all the way into the end. Thank you for enjoying Dave's Doghouse. I hope you had a great show. Make sure you like this video and hit the notification button so you get an alert whenever I go live again or have another video and another episode. And also, last but not least, hit that share button. If you enjoyed this and you think someone else will enjoy it, share it. And also, thank you again for tuning into this episode, and I'll see you next time.